this is Laura with Potpourri of Life. I hope that you're doing great, and I hope you're staying warm. Here in New England, we have in the low teens on the overnight and low 20s during the day. And that's supposed to be around for a couple of days or maybe towards the end of the week. Is that bad? No, it's just cold. So a lot of things get done inside. And yes, I step outside to get the mail. I might step out to kind of see what's going on and put recycles outside or whatever it is that I try to get outside and get a little bit of fresh air is basically what I'm trying to say. My husband is out there more because he does other things. So right now it is cold in New England, and that's not a bad thing. It's part of where we are. We are not getting a lot of snow. Other areas of the country are, and I'm kind of envious a little bit because I love the snow. I really do. The only thing about winter I do not like is ice. So with these temps that we have, if we had snow, when it melted, it would be horrible. It'd be hard for driving if it melts and gets into the road and freeze at night. So those are the things that I don't like about winter, but overall, that's a minute amount of time during the course of the 365 days in the course of a year. So I do love the winter season, not as much as I love the fall, and not as much as I love the spring. The summer gets too hot. But people down south would really like our summer heat. So the other day I shared with you about my coffee center. Voila is my coffee center. So we now are using a Mr. Coffee because we were using a Keurig, and a few years back I shared how I make my Keurig liners because I like to have a liner in my coffee thing. And I wasn't drinking coffee. I didn't start drinking coffee until about March of 2020. And it was just that I needed something to get me out of that slump. And fortunately, or not fortunately, the purpose I was doing it is I wanted something with a smooth, maybe a chocolate flavor, I told my husband, that would make me feel more alive. Well, coffee doesn't do that to me. It doesn't give me the energy that most people depend on it for. It just doesn't work for me. So I'm actually kind of happy about that because for me, it actually calms me down. It calms my whole system down, and that's not usual for most people, but for some people it is. My middle daughter is like that as well, and so I'm really happy that she has it. She, like myself, can drink coffee almost till about the time we're going to bed, and it doesn't keep us up. Now, other things might keep us up. At least for me, there are things that keep me up at night, and I don't know why, but I'll go to bed and all of a sudden I'll start thinking about something in my brain. Now, you guys can say coffee, but actually, I don't drink coffee except in the morning. Once in a while, I'll have it in the afternoon. And I'm going to have some today because there's a reason. I'll share it with you. So what we have here is my coffee center. In the back, I don't know if you can see it, in the back we have these little things that have different teas that I might have made, some homemade teas. I also have some extra stevia that I brought in, some herbs like oregano and thyme. Those are there because I sometimes put those things into my tea. In addition, I have some snack almonds back there and some spare coffee cups, travel cups. But my husband likes to put a little bit of hot cocoa in his coffee. And there is some chocolate milk mix that he likes. So that's back there. That is our kind of coffee everyday drink center, and it works for him and it works for me. I do have a couple of teas back here, and I like having these here. Like this is vanilla rubus. I might have this at night instead of some of the bag teas. And let me see what other ones I have here. Rose hips. I like to put rose hips into stuff. Rose hips also have vitamin C in it. So those are kind of some of the nice things that, to me, are luxury to have specialty teas. And I do make teas as well. And one of the teas that I make, this one here is one that I make for my husband. It's called a cold flu respiratory blend. And I've done a video on it before. And I had some in a jar and I had some here. He goes, "Can we put it in one container?" I didn't care. Before, when I filled this was full and the other one was. So he slowly has gotten that so that he knows where that is. He's happy. So what I have up here, one of the brands of coffee that we buy all the time and we wait for it to go on sale is the New England coffee. And this is the one, the coffee cappuccino. is the one that got me onto coffee. I can go a day, I can go a few, I can go forever without coffee. I don't need it. But I have learned that I kind of like having a cup of coffee in the morning. So I'll wake up in the morning, have a little bit of water, and then afterwards I'll start drinking coffee. And it's just 1 cup, and I don't always finish it. So, but anyways, these do not need to be refilled. And so I'm just going to share with you what we have up here as I get up onto my stool. I've learned that I can't reach. I'm not as youthful as I once were. So up here are my teas, and I've had these up here for quite some time. This here are my Buddha blends. I like these Buddha teas. They come in different flavors. This one's, there's a mushroom defense in here. And then I have some licorice from the Stosh brand. Yeah, the Stosh. I also have empty natural paper tea bags for my natural teas that if I want to make my own tea bag. There's a variety up here. I'm not going to take everything out. I mean, I even have this where I've sorted them out. Let me see what's in here. That's more mushroom defense. I think I accidentally bought the mushroom defense ones. But in here, these are some teas my husband uses. The Breathe Easy and the Immune Zoom, which is from Traditional Medicinals. He drinks this every night when he gets home from work. And to him, it helps with his respiratory allergies and stuff. Over here is what we call our coffee cocoa. It's from Hills Brothers. And it's just flavored coffee, but it's actually a cocoa in my mind. So we don't drink this in our morning coffee. We don't drink it every day. This is kind of like a treat. And to be quite honest with you, we have to drink it early enough in the day so we don't end up with a headache. There's something, I think it's the chocolate they use or something, but we love these things. At least the one that he gets the headache in is, I believe, the white chocolate, so we don't go through that as much. So we got white chocolate caramel, we got the mocha mint, and the double mocha cappuccino. I tend to take 1 scoop of the mocha cappuccino and the mint and do 2 scoops of that. Now, when we make these coffees, I'm going to put my tea away. When we make our coffees, like this one is, this one here is New England coffee. This is the English toffee one. And this here is not New England coffee. This is a coffee I got from my friend from Hawaii before Christmas, and it's a medium roast. And we've been putting like a tablespoon of this into the coffee every few days. And we haven't drinking it straight, but we will on a weekend when we're home to see how we handle it. We just haven't done it yet. But like right here, I have chocolate cappuccino, butter pecan, French vanilla, and I have some. I bought this a little bit ago, and it is Creole Brew. It's like a ground mushroom type coffee, and it's cacao. It's not mushroom, it's cacao brand, and I like cacao chocolate because it doesn't give me a headache, and I just like it. So sometimes I'll take some of that and put it into the coffee, but generally not the one that David's going to drink from. So this would be used in like the Keurig, but since the Keurig is not in the kitchen right now, it's just put aside because we're not using it. Now if we had a larger kitchen, I would have them both out. Alright, let me put some of these away. What I want to do is I do want to make a cup of coffee, get the coffee ready for tomorrow morning. And this is something that I do at the end of the day, midday, when everything's all cleaned up, all the stuff is all cleaned and everything. I've already put the water in, and it's going to make 12 cups. And what I do use a filter that I put inside. I also use a natural paper filter as well, because I prefer to do that. And so I get that ready. And then, so what I'm going to do, we generally do 5 tablespoons of coffee, ground coffee. Do I grind my own coffee? Yes, I have some coffee beans that I will grind up, but these are things that is just quick and easy, and this is what we use. So on the weekend we might grind the fresh beans, but right now with the schedule and everything, this is just easier and convenient for my husband most especially. So today, for tomorrow morning, I am going to put 2 tablespoons. I'm doing 5 tablespoons completely. These little scoops are 2 tablespoons. And so I'm going to put 2 of the chocolate, or 1 of that, 2 tablespoons. Let's see. Trying to decide what I want to do. He likes the French vanilla, so I am going to put 2 tablespoons of that into the filter. And then 1 tablespoon of the butter pecan. And now I realize that some people might think that's a little crazy, but I'm thinking about all those who go to Starbucks and all the things that you do with your stuff. Don't judge. So that's what we have, 5 tablespoons of coffee. And I'm going to put these back because I don't like toffee. I'm making the coffee. I'm not putting toffee in. But my husband knows that I don't like toffee, so he might make an individual cup by himself. I have another filter I put through, so as the water is going through, this will be here. So now this is all set. The water is in here. Everything's washed and cleaned. And then for the person who turns the coffee maker on in the morning, when I put the cover on, or he puts the cover on, we know that this is ready to go. All you have to do is when you get up, just push the button, it's ready. Does that happen every day? Oh, absolutely not, please. I get busy doing stuff. I'm happy that the dishes are clean, but that does not mean I get over here. I try to. But also my husband will make this too. On the weekend, my husband is already prepping it. If it doesn't get done the night before, neither one of us worry about that. The first one up might make the pot of coffee. Sometimes, you know, I'll get in the shower, he'll come out and he'll do the coffee. It doesn't matter to us. We just have routines of got to get the coffee, most especially for him. And I think I said, maybe I didn't, we make a full pot of coffee, but I drink maybe about 1 cup, and I don't always drink the whole thing. So like this is my whole cup. That's about all I drink. And I don't put anything extra in it except, let me see, 2 drops of stevia, and I put in 1 tablespoon of molasses. And I do that because molasses is really good and it gives me some magnesium. It's not enough magnesium to keep joint pain and other things at bay, but it's enough to give me a sweet flavor in my coffee that I enjoy. My husband will not touch it, and that's okay. Because this is what we do, is we've been experimenting since 2020 of how to make the coffee so that we are both enjoying it, just making 1 pot. So when we have a little bit left over without any additives and stuff like stevia or his preference of putting hot cocoa in his or whatever he puts in there, we put this and we put it in the refrigerator and he can make iced coffee. And he does do that. So the other thing that I have here, I mean, I have teas all back here, but I have this here, and today I thought I'm going to make an individual cup of coffee. So I'm just going to put like maybe a tablespoon of coffee mix in here. And the reason I'm doing this is the other day when I saw that coffee was on sale, and this was before Christmas, our regular market here in town sells it on sale for $4.99. The other store, which is Hannaford's for those of you who are in New England, they had it for $4.77. So I picked up a few, and one of the things that I picked up was some pistachio cream. I love pistachio. When I saw this, I had to have it. And the nice thing is, during the holidays, I refused to go into the store, so I did end up doing the pickup, which actually turned out to be pretty cool. I wasn't tempted by anything else, and I'm finding that to be very beneficial for me. Let's see what I'm going to do. So I don't know if any of you guys have these type coffee makers. I like it because if I just want 1 cup of coffee, I can make it. So the pistachio cream does not have its own container, because I went down before this video. I said, ooh. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to find something to put it in because that's who I am. And I'm going to get the hot water I started so that this can get ready. And let this make a special cup of coffee for me. Now, I rarely have coffee midday, but today I decided I was going to, and because I want to. And I'm not interested in a tea, and I'm kind of like a moody person with my drinks. Sometimes I'll just drink water, sometimes it's a glass of milk, juice, and coffee, whatever. But when I want coffee, I would like to be able to sit down and enjoy it. Now, why do we make coffee at home? And I don't know, we are very frugal people. We haven't, hold on please. So I apologize for that interruption. That was my husband calling. So I will continue on. The reason that we make our own coffee, first of all, we're home. Second of all, we're fully capable of pouring water in a coffee maker, measuring out the coffee, and sitting down to enjoy some. My husband takes the coffee and he brings 2 coffee mugs with the covers. He brings those to work. I don't have one right out here because he has it at work. And we find that it's more cost effective. So I don't know how much people are paying for coffee. My understanding is that some people are paying like maybe $2.50 at McDonald's. I don't know, or Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know because I haven't bought coffee in a long time. And I never bought it. David did. And the only time I bought it was like maybe 8 years ago, because when I made him a cup of coffee, I did a lousy job. I've learned since then. But that was when I wasn't drinking coffee and I really had no desire. I never made good coffee. Now I make good coffee. So I looked at it and I'm like, why do people who are struggling, this is not to insult anybody, why do they continually go out to Starbucks, to Dunkin' Donuts, to McDonald's to grab their coffees? I don't know. And it's all a personal choice. Now, I asked my husband, I said, would you get a Starbucks coffee if we were out and about? He goes, no. I said, why? He goes, I don't like the coffee. I said, okay. And how about McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts? He goes, I would go to Dunkin' Donuts if you would let me get a donut. I don't buy them donuts. But he said the coffee is still not as good as what we have here. I think the flavor he likes most is that I did the calculation. One of these bag of coffees, this is on sale. This is a brand name. Normally it goes for $8.49. These used to be a lot less expensive, but we are in today's world. So a regular price bag of that, $8.49, will make 4.8 pots of coffee. And of course, we're always filling the containers, so we don't necessarily, you'll have more coffee from the next bag and so forth. So with that in mind, $8.49 for a bag that makes 4.8 pots, that's $1.77 a pot. That's less than you can pay for a cup of coffee at anywhere. Now, if I get it on sale, which I generally do, and I'm going to take the $4.99 price because that's usually the price we get at our local one that's like 5 minutes away. That comes down to $1.03 a pot of coffee. And we're both getting multiple cups if we want. It says it's a 12 cup, but most people have a mug. And that's more than a cup. That's like a cup and a half for me. His coffee mugs that he has with the covers are like 2 cups. So each one of those are like $2. So for us, this is an economic decision. Economical decision for us. Do I care if he all of a sudden, hey, we're out on the road, we're going out to visit somebody and he wants a cup of coffee? Would I be upset about that? Not really. I won't want one. I won't want one. I will not have one. But he won't either, because we make this pot of coffee and we will prepare whatever we're going to bring. And if we don't drink it all, usually on the weekend, this will be full because we don't drink all that coffee during the day. And I think he drinks it out of habit. So I told him, I said, as you reduce what you put in your coffee, because he does put hot cocoa in his, like a little scoop of that just to give it that chocolate flavor. That's what he does, and I'm trying to get him away from that, and then he puts a creamer in. I don't always put milk in mine. It's in my, if I'm in the mood for a little bit of milk, I'll put some raw milk in, or because I don't use creamer at all. Just molasses and some stevia drops. Now I did make this other coffee in here. I ended up putting 2 tablespoons in because I was finishing this up when my husband called. So I will enjoy this. This should be, they say it is, let's see, it's pistachio. Let me take this out. And I'll recycle the coffee grounds and the filter. I want to see if it smells like pistachio. I only bought 1 bag because I didn't know how it would taste. Actually, it does have a little bit of pistachio scent to it. It's okay because it needs a few drops of stevia. Let's see if I can fix that up. Now, stevia, to some of you, 2 drops of stevia, it might be a teaspoon of sugar for others. And using stevia is expensive, but I only use 2 drops. And it does help with some other things, some other issues that, like for those of you who know anything about Lyme disease, the spear sheets and stuff, it helps break down the coating that is on those spear sheets that have a hard time breaking down. So when I was diagnosed with Lyme and I learned about stevia, I just added it to my daily repertoire. At that point, I was not drinking coffee, and now this is how I get my stevia. Yep, 2 drops did it. And so I'm golden. I don't have to put molasses in that. I kind of like that cup of coffee. It's not really sweet the way my husband might like. So for me and for David, we just feel like a bag will make almost 5 pots of coffee. Now my daughter buys, I don't know what brand she does. She just gets, like, even, she doesn't care if it's Walmart or whatever. She's okay with that. She doesn't feel like she needs to go to Starbucks, but will she? Yeah, if somebody wants to treat her to Starbucks, of course, because she likes that coffee. But she's on a budget and she likes to keep things frugal. Another daughter swears by Starbucks. Now there are some lovely independent coffee places that are wonderful to go to, and I fully support them. We don't go out much for coffee, but I think those are really nice to have. I'm not here ditching anybody or any business that sells coffee, not even the big box guys, because that's a business, and as consumers we have choices of how we want to spend our money. And even though we've been doing this for a long time, he used to get coffee once in a while, but he always generally made his own coffee for the day, my husband, and he didn't always drink coffee, so he picked it up after we had kids. I don't know what that tells you. And now he just drinks it. And I asked him, if you didn't have the creamer, because I'm trying to develop a cream, kind of like get a recipe together that might make a nice creamer, so we don't have to pay for creamer at the store, and it'll be healthier with no additives. I asked him, would you drink it? He goes, if you can make it so it's palatable and makes like a really nice creamy coffee, he said, sure. So that's my goal. That's my goal, to make a nice creamer for him. And but he says, if I can't get the creamer, say the world fell apart, he would not drink coffee. I said, you wouldn't? So he is not a die-hard coffee drinker. He loves the sweetness that he puts into his coffee. So I think, for him, his is just flavored coffee. And for me, it's just a morning treat that I enjoy. And it calms my system. It actually calms me down. And I'm kind of glad about that because I would hate to be that jittery person going all around. We worked with a girl a long time ago when we were making furniture. And she came in and she drank coffee after coffee after coffee. We were afraid while she worked on the saws and stuff because we thought she was going to lose some fingers. She didn't. And, but, everybody is different. And like I said, I'm not here to judge anybody, but when people are talking about how do I save money, how do I make money, one of the ways to make money is to not spend everything you have. And this is one area that we've really been good about is like, okay, if you want coffee, I never pay full price. I always buy on sale because it's going to go on sale. Now the $4.99 is the regular price it used to be before the pandemic. So I'm kind of disappointed as to how high it went up during the last 4 years. But life has changed. Everything has gone up, except everybody's wages, I know. But in thinking about this, if you are looking for ways to cut costs, this is one area that you can cut your expenses. Make your coffee at home. Does that mean you have to always have coffee from home? No. And you don't have to waste it. I make a full pot of coffee and then we put it in for iced coffee. Do I have to make that much? No, I can cut it right down and put less coffee grounds in and less water, and we could still have enough coffee just for the two of us. And which, thinking about it, I should probably do that on the weekend. So that is my tip. If you are looking for a simple way to cut costs, calculate how much your cup of coffee is. We get, because it's 12 cups, I'm going to say it's about 6 cups of coffee. 1, 2, 3 for him, 1 for me. Yeah, and some extras. So maybe about 6 cups of coffee that are not 1 cup size. What is that like at, we'll just go to, I think, Dunkin' Donuts. It's around a couple dollars. Say it's just seriously, I don't go get it, so I'm just estimating here. So 6 cups of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts would be $12. Well, I didn't spend that much on my coffee. I didn't, even full price, I would not spend $12. So that is a lot of money being saved. And how often do you drink coffee? It doesn't matter if you drink a whole pot or 1 cup every day. What matters is the savings per cup that you will have. So, like I said, if you get the coffee grounds on sale, it comes down to $1.03 per pot, or at full price $1.77. I did not calculate all the other coffees that are out there because I didn't want to. I have things to do. But the reason I wanted to share this is to have you start thinking outside the box of how you can enjoy something that you enjoy. If you are somebody who loves coffee and can't live without it, this is one way that you don't have to cut the luxury of coffee out. Just get a coffee maker, and they're not that expensive. Sorry, I didn't price that out either. I don't think I spent $20 on it. Yeah, at most. If I spent anything, it might have been $24. I don't know. I generally get it on sale. I haven't had to do anything. I bought the filters. I buy the filters when they're on sale. Those are not expensive. So if we're going to talk about $1.03 per pot, let's bring it up to $1.25. And that still, divide that by the number of cups of coffee that you get, 6 cups of coffee. It's still less than $1 a cup of coffee. Friends, I hope that you're doing well. And as we enter this new year, this new era, and as things are going up in price and we're all concerned about it, I hope that you're taking time to think about where you can cut back. And if this is one avenue that might inspire you to say, I can do that, just make sure you realize that there will be days you do not want to get up to make that coffee. It's easier to stop and sit in line at these places. Or some people, I guess, am I correct, that they pre-order their coffees? But for me, this is just peace of mind, being at home with my husband, getting things ready. And to me, that's a lot calmer than sitting in line waiting for your turn to pay for your cup of coffee. And if you don't like doing that, at least stop in at maybe the independent coffee shops. They might be a little expensive, but if you're going to do it as a treat because you don't want to keep making it, you will support small businesses all across our nation. And that I highly recommend. And even for a date, even a cup of coffee at a small coffee shop, first of all, you're supporting them. You're paying more than you would at home, of course, but it's quieter. It's not so crazy. So, something to think about. Folks, I hope that you're doing well and you're staying warm. Have a great night, and may God bless you.